Questions?
Any definitive answer about the quarterback situation for Saturday?
No, I mean, they both are still practicing, and what we got to do is watch the film today, and then tomorrow is kind of our dress rehearsal. So we'll see how how they perform and get together as a staff, and we usually talk about how we want to play our players usually Saturday morning. So, but right now the expectation is that both will be available, and then we'll decide, after we kind of get through the game plan part of it as to who will be the guy that starts and how we'll use them.
Seems like the offensive line group is finally back healthy with Terrence. How much do you think that's going to just help?
Well, I hope it helps quite a bit, obviously, getting Terrence back and the game experience that he has. Though, he's coming off of a lower leg injury, a knee injury, where with big guys coming back, he's really pushed himself to put himself in position to get back. And it's good to have him out there in the experience, but we've just got to see how he holds up, and it's going to be a good test.
We're talking yesterday just about having young guys out there, getting them experience and whatnot. When they're at a position where they can get targeted, they can get picked on, how important is it to you to make sure those guys walk away feeling good, that you're building them back up if they do happen to have some adverse situations?
I mean, obviously, the way we try to train our mindset here is that whatever happens, good or bad, on the previous play, that play has a shelf life and it's gone, it's done. And whether it's a young guy or a veteran player, I think it's really important that we continue to have that type of mindset and mentality because, again, whether it was something good that happened, you've got to play the next play, and if it's something bad that's happened, you've got to play the next play. And you don't really look at the results as much as you do kind of the techniques within it. So we try to do what we can to make sure that, once the play or the game is over, evaluate the plays and then make corrections.
How hard is that fighting human nature?
I think it's just, again, it goes back to taking coaching. It goes back to us making sure we're reinforcing that that's the standard of how we want to play. It's natural for young players or most players, if they're not used to that type of culture, that's where I talked about one of the steps we made last week as a team was I didn't think we played to our circumstances. We got down, they gave up a touchdown on the first drive or early drive. We got down by 10 in the third quarter and we just kept playing. So those were some of the small battles that I see us making strides in. Obviously not at the pace that as a coach you want to see it, but I do feel like our guys are starting to get it and understand that when you play in this league, I mean, things are going to happen in the course of a game. There'll be adversity, and then there'll be some good things that go your way. But regardless, you don't let those affect how you play the next play, and that you've got to take them all as a one play, one game per rep.
What do you think is the biggest hurdle from getting a freshman to where they are when they walk into the program to where they need to be in order to play at that level? I mean, is it that mental component? Or
it all depends. It's the position. When you play a young lineman, to me, inside is where it takes years because of the physicality of it, and being a high school senior to playing against grown men that are juniors. That physicality is the toughest thing, but at the skill position, it's the mental aspect, it's the speed of the game, it's the wear and tear of a long college season and the physicality of how playing in this league and playing major college football takes a toll on your body. And so what we've had to do is really teach and reinforce all the things we talk about, from how we recover, how we prepare, how we train. And again, we're 1 year into implementing the changes to fit the style of team that I want us to be. So, we're continuing to move in that direction.
The mentality aspect, for a young player, how important is it to kind of learn that from veteran players rather than just hearing it from the coaching staff?
Well, I've always said that when it's a player-driven, it's great. When it's coach-driven, it's just good. So, and that's the area where I feel like we're trying to build the leadership of this team to where, I've been a part of great programs and I've been a part of some great Maryland teams where the older players did a tremendous job of setting the standard for how we do things, and the younger guys typically learn from what they do. And so that's why it's been really important for us as a staff to develop the relationships with some of our leaders on our team to make sure that all the values and principles of our organization and our veteran players are really pushing that same messaging when they're away from us. Because again, as a team, you have so many people that have access to our players, whether it's with social media, whether it's parents, friends, you name it, and the media as well, that we've got to continue to reinforce our messaging that it really doesn't matter what everybody outside of our program thinks, and it's important that our leaders within our program teach our guys how to insulate themselves to hear the things that we're teaching and we're trying to build our team with.
Where have you seen Chig make the most progress since the spring, and where, in your eyes, does he still have a way to grow?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've always saw with Chig is he has exceptional range as a pass receiver. He's a guy that wins at the top of the route. He's a mismatch against linebackers typically. And the area where I've seen him make some progress is playing, in the C area, playing an inline tight end position, blocking. Not even close to where he can be, but I think he's really made strides in the fundamentals and the techniques that go along with